Hey, friend.
Well, hi, Jackie.
You know what?
What you got today?
Passion.
Passion, compassion for the passion.
No, it's not the kind of passion that we might think about when I say that word, but I like to challenge the status quo. So, you ready to go?
Let's dive in.
Have you ever had a thought that would not leave you alone?
It happens all the time. I feel like I've got a little bit of OCD when it comes to my thought patterns.
So, I once heard somebody say something about this notion. Like if you can't get it out of your mind, Christy, it must be what God's calling you to do.
Ooh,
Sounds pretty good, right?
it sounds a little risky.
Okay. It is risky because that passion that's in my brain,
Yes.
that idea, that thing to do that I just can't let go of. What if it's the devil using my thoughts and my passions to lead me in the wrong direction?
So, how do you find out if it is? Where is it coming from? It's either coming from above or below.
So I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about something that I'm going to call the 3-question thought check.
Ooh, okay.
So, well, because we all have thoughts, right? And we all have desires, and oh, it's good. It's good that we have these wonderful functioning brains, and God has given us passions. And I don't want to negate that. But the Bible is really, really, really straightforward about the fact that our thoughts are really not to be trusted. And so,
Mhm.
this 3-question thought check,
Okay.
does it align with scripture? Number one, off the top of the list, the first thing is what I'm thinking in alignment with what the Bible has to say?
Then how can there ever be a 2 and a 3? Like that should the one should do it.
Well, you know what? You would think that, right? You would think, okay, well, if it aligns with scripture, then I'm good. But just because something aligns with scripture doesn't necessarily mean it will produce good fruit.
Right. Because the circumstance by which you're asking that could definitely be in question.
Right. So let's start with the let's not I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself here. Does what I'm thinking align with scripture? Because here's something that I know I could fall victim to easily because it feels good, because it makes me happy,
Mm.
because it's what society would have me do, because it's, let's be really careful here, like what my spouse would have me do,
Okay.
what my boss would have me do. If this thing, this thought goes against scripture, full stop. No, it is not from God.
That's right. Yes. And I love how you gave those examples because just being mindful is falling into the trap of, does it line up with my boss, my husband, my friends, whatever, my
Right.
circumstance? It's, does it line up with what God says about your husband, what God says about your boss, what God says about your circumstance?
Yes.
Yes. So it basically is a redirection.
Yes.
It's redirecting the question.
So And I don't have a hypothetical to throw at us. So if along the conversation today you come up with a hypothetical, God love you. Um, but so let's say this thought that I have gets through door number one.
Okay.
It lines up with scripture. It's a good thing. Okay, I got to pass. I get to go up to door number two, and I'm knocking on door number two.
Okay.
If chasing this thought produces anxiety or pride or a division, I think that should be a red flag. If it's not producing the fruit of the spirit, then I think that's the next. I think that's another door.
Yes. I absolutely agree. I think that you have to look at the root. Does it line up with scripture? Yes. Is it is it emitting an emotion or a something that doesn't line up with the character of God?
Right.
That it's not just should I do it? Does it line up with the character of God and his nature? And I do have a little hypothetical
Tell
thing.
me.
I just think when we're in ministry of any sort, whether it's even volunteering, paid or unpaid, that just because we're in ministry doesn't justify us being able to take advantage of that ministry. Um, whether it's money, whether it's an allowance, so to speak, of okay, well, you can come and have you come and volunteer on at the church on Sundays, and you can go in and have like breakfast, help yourself. That doesn't mean that you're justifying taking a half a dozen muffins home to feed your family. Like that is not of God unless you are authorized to do that. But
Right. I
it's just how you steward. It's how you're stewarding the gifts that you've been given when it comes to what God is saying about moving forward with attaining your passion and thought process.
like that. I like that. I think it's always important to keep in mind our pride and our self-interest. And that's why the second door, the second question,
Mm-hmm.
is it producing the fruit of the spirit, has to be part of the equation. I thought of another example,
Oh, good.
um, personal to me, and one that I think may actually be a good a good example. So, training for a marathon.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything in scripture that says do not train for a marathon? No.
No, it
Okay,
doesn't.
so we're good. We're good. Go and train for and run the marathon. We're good.
It talks about running the race. I do know that.
Right. So this is, I mean, it seems silly, but this is one of those why do we need more than one question?
Okay.
If it's in scripture, it's good, right? Now we need to vet that out a little bit more. So there's nothing in scripture to prohibit me from training for and running a marathon.
Okay.
Does it produce fruit of the spirit? Well, I can tell you that one of the reasons I trained for and ran the marathon was to prove that I could.
Hmm.
As the clouds roll in. My lighting just changed as I clouds rolled in. Um,
Would that
because
be a selfish ambition?
it was.
Okay.
It wasn't glorifying God in my ability to do it. It wasn't praising God in my ability to do it. It was, I'm a woman of a certain age and I have MS, and gosh darn it, I can do this.
Wow.
Pride, woo, big pride. Okay.
Okay.
So that's why door number two is important. Just like being called into ministry,
Mhm.
yes, being called into ministry is a gift and an honor and a privilege and a responsibility that a lot of us just don't really need to step into because it's a tough one.
I cannot
And
wait to hear about your door number 3.
mm,
I wonder if I've even gone through door number 3 ever.
I think you have. So once we get through okay, it's good with scripture.
Okay.
And then door number 2, does it produce fruits of the spirit?
Okay.
Door number 3, does it glorify God or just me?
Wow.
So even if something is producing a fruit of the spirit, does that fruit of the spirit point to God? And does it praise and glorify him? Or is it about self-promotion or self-indulgence or self-destruction? Because
Mm.
here's what I will tell you, Christy. My neurologist looked at me and said, you cannot run a marathon. And I said,
Wow.
well, yes, I can. And he said, you're not hearing me. The
Wow.
consequences of running a marathon are too much for your body. The
Yeah.
toll that it will take on your body is not worth the endeavor.
Wow. When I think about that, the first thing I think of is you had a desire.
I did.
There's nothing wrong with desires. There's nothing wrong with believing that God says you can do anything, right? There's
Right.
nothing. And I'm thinking about you running this marathon. I remember when you did your very first marathon.
Yeah.
I remember that. Um, and I thought, wow, she is a powerhouse of a mom and wife and having time to train, let alone, right?
Right.
But I think when it is not healthy is when a passion or ambition kind of transforms itself into distortion.
Yes.
And we definitely get off track there, saying, what it looked like in the beginning has now gotten distorted where God's like, that's not what that's supposed to look like. It was never intended to look like that. And you didn't heed the warnings, or you actually didn't pass through the first door, the first of Jackie's door. Everybody make sure that you're going through the 3 Jackie doors. But wow, those are really good telltale doors because those are also gates.
Yes.
Are we opening with keys that we shouldn't be using, when it comes
So
to that?
one of the things that you said that I kind of want to challenge a little bit
Okay.
is that desires are good.
Okay.
I think that in and of itself has to go through gate number 1.
Absolutely it does.
Here's an example.
Okay.
We are both married women.
Yes.
The desire for and of my husband is a good and godly thing.
Yes.
But in this fallen world, there is a skewed perspective on monogamy.
Mm.
There's a reason that the Bible warns us about our eyes and what we look after and
Right.
what we entertain. And so, is desire in and of itself a good thing given by God? Yes.
Yes.
I think in this very broken world, people would argue, well, it doesn't matter how many sexual partners I have because I have all of this desire. And certainly God would have me fill the desire that he gave me because he created me, right? And so he created me with this need, Christy. He
Mm.
put that in me. And so I should just be able to fill it because if I'm a creature created by God, then he gave that to me, right?
Mm. Yes. And
Mm,
I think that's where the distortion comes in,
yes.
otherwise known as temptation from what
Mm,
is righteous or what has been created in us, like you said, to be, but it is the temptation to stray from healthy desires. And I
Yes.
said desires, I meant healthy desires, not desires that go to extremes, but at the same time, that's how your 1 2 3 method really puts a huge check, and I love it. I love it. I'm going to use it for the rest of my days.
Oh my gosh. Well,
But it is something that needs to be talked about because people don't know how to basically reel themselves back in.
hmm.
And then it's gotten so far out of whack that what originally looked like a healthy passion or desire is now come under a dark motive that was never intended or purposed, and then we fall short.
You know, I feel like you and I could go down that rabbit hole on this.
Oh, yes.
And the Bible verses that I put together for this, we're just now getting to those. Like there's one screaming at me loud and clear and like neon and red and all of the flashing stuff. In the book of James, it says, but each person is tempted when he is lured and enticed by his own desire. Then desire, when it is conceived, gives birth to sin, and sin, when it is fully grown, births death.
Mm.
So what you're saying is right. Like God puts the desires in our hearts, and those are good things. But when we don't check them, and when we are enticed by our own desires, in contrast to the desires of the Lord
Mm.
within us,
Yes.
then we quickly fall down that path. And I just, I think it's important when we consider living life within the world.
Hmm.
I had everybody around me saying, go run that marathon for you. It's this awesome. And we want to love and support one another. But I think we also want to be careful what we're getting and what's being fed by the accolades and the support of those around us.
Yes.
Because not everyone knows the story behind what we're choosing, right?
Oh, that's so true. They don't
Like
know all the story.
they don't. You commented that when, we were together and you were seeing me as a young mom training for and running my first marathon, that seemed like a really cool thing to you. It was a really praiseworthy endeavor.
Absolutely. And I wanted to, support you and encourage, encouragement words and
Yes. Yes.
kind of be present with you.
It takes such a level of spiritual maturity to tune out even the most well-intended
Mm.
support if it's not for our good and the glory of God.
Yes. It's good. It's good.
Mm.
Jackie, can you say those three again for anybody who's out there watching?
Oh,
Um, and
yeah.
listening to that, just to conclude a little bit and wrap that up with a 1 2 3.
Number one, ready?
Ready.
Number one, does it align with scripture?
Okay. Number two.
Number two, does it produce the fruits of the Spirit?
Wow. And door number three. What's behind door number three?
Does it glorify God?
Mm.
Trust me.
Wow. Great accountability. It's beautiful.
It is. I'm really grateful that God gave it to me and we get to talk about it today.
Yeah. I'm glad you did because it's something that is going to stick with me for a long time because there's compassion and there's passion. We have the passion to follow God,
Yes.
and so we need to steward all the other things that we're passionate about in our giftings and some deep-rooted stuff that we know God has called us into uh,
Yes.
to accomplish here on earth. And I'm so grateful to know those three. So thank you.
Of course. Of course. It's been so good talking with you again. I'm looking forward to when you're going to be back up in Ohio.
Yes, a couple more weeks and we'll be recording together. I cannot wait. Your lighting is a lot better than mine, so I'm looking forward to sitting down with you and having a nice cappuccino. And by then, I'll want something that has no ice in it. So until then,
Until then, bye for now, friend.
bye bye.